Hey, best friends. I'm Claire.
I'm Yana.
Welcome to
My Best Friend's Book Club.
How wonderful.
The Book Club.
We are recording in the summer in a city that doesn't traditionally have AC in their homes. So if you hear some like birds chirping or a fan or a dog overheating.
Yeah, a pug trying to breathe through it.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Just give us a little bit of grace. You know, we can only be so professional.
I mean,
guys.
if you leave us more reviews and like share us with more of your friends, we could get like a legit podcast studio and not sound like we're in a jungle.
Yeah.
But really, just know it's up to you guys, not us. So
it's in your hands.
It's in your hands. If you don't like the sounds, do better and make us more popular.
Yana, what are we reading?
The book club for Troublesome Women.
Bye. No,
hold on. I practiced in the car.
This.
No, I practiced in the car and then I forgot.
Okay, it's going to come back to you.
It starts with an M?
Yep.
Maddie McDonald.
Such an easy name.
Mason. Maggie? Hold on.
We did this in the last episode.
No, I remember.
Just edited and I had to live through this.
Marie Boswick.
Fucking finally. Marie, Yana obviously cares a lot about your book.
You know what's really unfortunate is I have like lots of people in my family and just in my life named Marie.
Yeah, I don't know why you're having a hard time remembering this one.
Hey, keep talking back and I'll forget Claire too. Let's see if Claire remembers what happened last week.
Margaret and Charlotte went to New York City so that Margaret could go to a Woman's Place magazine and schmooze everyone over there, which she did. We found out a lot about the backstory of the other gals in the group, Bitsy, Viv, Charlotte, Margaret, and then the gals decided they're going to actually read The Feminine Mystique, and they named the group the Bettys. Margaret and Walt's relationship is kind of going down a rocky path. Viv, she got a job as a nurse, but she has yet to tell her husband that she accepted this job or that she's pregnant. And then the last thing that happened was Charlotte took the girls to an art gallery because she wanted to go see this man's art, Lawrence, who Margaret saw them together in New York before they caught the train, having a bit of a steamy gaze, which Margaret hasn't brought up since because Charlotte got mad. That's pretty much, I think, the main things that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done
Did
a
I do a
much
good
better...
job?
No.
Yana, love of my life.
Yeah.
Pecan to my pie.
You don't really like pecans. What's she trying to say, girl?
I got stumped. Cherry to my pie.
Okay.
Oat to my matcha latte.
Okay.
Wine to my chalice. Tampon to my vagina.
Ah!
And you serve a purpose, but you're not exactly comfortable. What happened? Yana,
but if you don't use me right, I will leave you up in a bloody mess.
Padangchi. Yana, tell us what happened in this week's literature.
No, I'd love to because I'm actually prepared. So Margaret is at a local bookstore getting ideas for her next book club book, and she's picking out a gift for Walt as well, hoping that smooths some things over, but also like, girl, please, it's not your fault. So she also uses the opportunity while she's there to read up a little bit on Lawrence, the very little that there is in a book about artists. Based on what she's reading so far, it seems like timelines maybe don't exactly match up to what Charlotte shared. So she's getting a wee bit suspicious. A little suspicious about Charlotte and maybe what's going on in her marriage.
Marriage?
So...
name that movie.
Princess Bride.
Good job.
Also, this bookstore couple is just like so sweet and cute, and they just like love reading. They're like us.
Yeah, and it's like their bookshop is maybe in danger of being closed.
Yeah.
And they show that maybe love is real after all.
Love really is all around us. I feel it in my toes.
I love that guy. He's my favorite in that movie.
Know.
Listener,
name that movie.
Email us and we'll send you some fun swag. No one's going to. So it doesn't matter.
Watch so many people do. Watch like all of the listeners. I know. We like can't keep up with demand. So we're back at home. Margaret's leaving her house to the next book club meeting. But Hey, listener, don't worry. Margaret's got everything set up for Walt to be taken care of, her husband, by the oldest daughter. Because, duh, who's second in line to take care of the dad? If it's not the wife, surely it's the oldest daughter. And Margaret's also made him his favorite cake because, God forbid, he just doesn't feel so very loved and taken care of. So Margaret's just like trying to be like super smooth with Walt because they're fighting. And she's like, I'm going to fix it.
You know what, though? I was very pleased with the daughter and her
responses were like, why the hell do I need to do it? Like, he's a grown-ass man.
Yeah, she was like, why can't Dad come get his own cake?
Yeah, and I get that, girl. And also where Margaret was like, everyone wash their own dish, and the daughter was like, who's going to wash Dad's dish?
Right.
And good point, girl.
Or she was like, why do I have to watch our siblings when Dad's right here, too?
Exactly.
Like, Dad's busy watching sports and drinking beer, honey, okay?
Sorry you were born a girl.
We didn't make that up. That's how it happens.
No, that's literally how it happens.
I know we're dicks, but like,
says Walt.
We're just saying what happened.
I also love that when Margaret leaves the house, she hears the children start to cry, but she's like, oh, I don't actually hear them. And she leaves. I'm like, good for you, girl. So over at Charlotte's house, where book club is being held today, shit's like a full-on mess. Denise, Charlotte's daughter, sounds like a major biatch, and the house is a wreck. I don't really love that Margaret kind of steps in here and like takes over for Charlotte and parenting Denise and being like, it's okay. I know you said you were going to clean this up, but like, you go do your own thing. We'll take care of it. I'm like, that's not really your place.
I read that as like, that's not a woman's place. I read that as like, Denise wasn't really being very helpful and they had 45 minutes for the girls to get there. And this sounded like it was going to become a fight between Denise and Charlotte. So she was just like, get the fuck out of here and like, I'll do it.
Yeah. I think if I was Charlotte, I'd be like, I'd be like, fuck all y'all. I'm going to burn this house down.
That's funny. I read it kind of like how I did with Margaret's daughter, where she was like rebelling. And I was like, good job, everyone. Question your fucking shit.
Yeah, no, I was like, you said you were going to clean this shit up. You clean it up. We'll meet outside. So Charlotte has an outward appearance of perfection, but then she's also super scattered and very messy in her house and her brain. She doesn't know how to clean because they had a maid before. And now her doctor won't allow her to have a maid because he wants her to adjust to the housewife role. So Margaret uses this kind of opportunity of cleaning together with Charlotte to bring up Lawrence, sexy artist Lawrence.
From the train.
And Charlotte tells her that it's fine. Like, he has a crush on me, but like, I encourage it because I'm kind of using him to promote my own art. Don't worry anyway, he's got an open marriage. But we don't get to find out yet if Charlotte has one too, because book club's here.
Oh, how coincidental.
I know, saved by the bell.
She dropped that bomb right at that moment right there.
We next get to learn a little bit about Bitsy and her husband's story while they're discussing the feminine mystique. We learn that reading this book has kind of led Bitsy to acknowledge some of the anger she has for her husband and how she's feeling in this particular moment that she hates him. And girl, I get it. Yeah, she literally says those words. We find out that around the same time she met her husband, King, she wanted to be a vet herself. But her professor wouldn't write her a letter of recommendation for school, even though she was a top student, because she was a woman. And why bother when she's just going to get married, pregnant, and leave? She felt like the door to becoming a vet was probably closed, so might as well marry King, because might not love him, but like, what else are you going to do? And he's nice to you.
Don't worry, we have this in discussion.
Yeah.
If you're feeling like rolling pains in your chest, so did we.
Yep. But King made her feel like they would be partners together in a vet business. Then it turned out that it was more of like her taking care of the home so that he could spend time on growing the business. And he also promised her she would eventually love him. She seems to have convinced herself that she now does, just because he's not a bad man. That must just be love. He treats her nicely and he's not bad. So I do love him.
And the way he treats her, I feel weird saying this, but it seems better. Some of the ways that other husbands are treating the gals, but it's not much better.
No, it's bare minimum. Like, he made himself breakfast and he made some for her too.
But then he made it in like bacon when she's a vegetarian.
But then when she fought with him over it, like, he also was like, I won't do that again.
He blew up and gaslit her.
Yes, yeah, so but then he like, I mean, again, bare fucking minimum.
Right. It's like the bar's already on the floor and like King hiked it up like a centimeter.
And then found a shovel.
And then it's like, I guess that's a little bit better. Anyway.
Whatever.
We have an in discussion.
Anyway, the other two important things that happen during this time is that Margaret gets her copy of The Woman's Place that has her column published in it. It's also super praised. There's lots of great photos. And most importantly, the check is made out just to her.
I love it.
I know.
Hooray!
And the other thing to note from these chapters is that they've picked their new book for book club, and it's Herland, which is a fantasy book about a utopian society run by women. So that's kind of, I think, the gist of what happens in these last 50-ish pages. Claire, I have a lot in discussion, but like, do you want to go through some of yours first?
Can I just say, everyone, we always joke about Yana and her discussion, and she actually has discussion this time. Let's all give her a little Gen Z finger, thumb, silence.
I'll give you the finger.
What you said last time.
You probably forgot. No way, I forgot.
You literally did.
Oh, no. Guess what Claire forgot today?
No, let's start with yours. I'd love to start with your topics. Yanita, my custard to my cake.
Oh, God, this again.
My chocolate to my chip cookie.
Okay, so my discussion points are just...
Pen to my paper. Good.
You're the pain in my ass.
A plug to my butt.
You're about to be a bullet to my gun.
Some people would consider that very wonderful.
I would not.
I haven't tried.
Not that I know. I can't say I did. I don't even have a butt.
I don't have a hole.
I'm holeless.
Lady, okay?
Yeah.
I don't fart and poop.
No, I don't pee either.
I know my place.
That's right. My woman's place. Anyway, I just wrote down some things that kind of stuck out to me and made me think of things while reading this. And the first part is where I believe it's Margaret talking to the bookstore owners and like how this suburban community that they live in has like very intense kind of HOA like rules of, you know, what can get planted where, and they don't have a lot of say because it's like the main community gets to rule kind of over them. And the quote was, every home buyer in Concordia signed papers saying they'd abide by the rules. That's why they don't get to like really fight back on what's being planted on their property or whatever. And it just made me think of like the way they all signed on to the rules of like their marriages, right? Or like what society wants from them. And they agreed that like these are their roles. So they're not allowed to really fight back because they promised they would abide by the rules. Both the men and the women. The women promised they are going to take care of their husbands. They're going to take care of their kids. They're going to run the home. And the men are like, I take care of my family. And if you try and fight back at all with any of that stuff, you really throw a wrench in the whole system.
Wow.
I know.
What an incredibly deep thought you had.
I would like someone to contact my language arts teacher.
Also, what an analogy. Is that an analogy or metaphor? Analogy?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds right.
Sounds
appropriate to a woman.
Mr. Ferguson, if you're out there.
I literally didn't think about it like that at all.
That stuck out to me so bad. I was like, damn, they're all in every aspect of their life. They're like, we signed papers that promised we would not, we would not create ruckus.
You know what? I wonder if the author did that on purpose.
Marie Bostwick, you tell us. Then we learned a couple things about just like being women during this time.
We learned a lot about this.
Some things I feel like I already knew. Some things really pissed me off. One, I feel like we already kind of knew this, but women being denied jobs because of the assumption that they would eventually get married and have to quit. I still think that happens now, but like covered up in a different way since we're not allowed to take people on for that reason. You find some other reason to not hire that woman.
Right. Or they're hired into a lesser role.
Yes.
I have a quote for you if you'd like it.
Sure.
That pertains to this.
I would love it. I love everything.
This is about women's education, and we're talking about Bitsy not being able to get that letter of recommendation that no one would provide for her.
Yeah.
She said, So when I read about how many women are denied the chance to pursue certain professions because it's assumed they'll quit after marriage, or how colleges alter the curriculum so women are only learning what they'll need to know as wives and mothers, or that psychology classes are teaching girls that having ambitions beyond homemaking is a sign of neurosis.
I wrote both of those things down as well.
Can you imagine being like, you're just fucking having neurosis because you want to do more than be a homemaker?
Yeah. And again, nothing wrong with being a homemaker. If that's what you want to do, you do you. And if you don't, you also do you.
But I think a lot of women in this book, they want to do both. They want to get married. They want to have kids. But like they were talking about with the feminine mystique, it's like, I am more than what's inside of the household. There's things beyond the household that I'm interested in. Not everyone, like you were saying, but there are a great deal of women, people, it doesn't just have to be women. They have interests and things that they desire beyond household, housemaking.
And we talked about this before, but like the idea that feminism means you shouldn't be a homemaker, where instead it's feminism means like you get to choose what you get to be, what you want to be. And there are lots of women or men, there's lots of men too that are staying at home with kids and doing all those like societally seen as, you know, female type tasks while their wives or partners are working. There's a lot of people who want to be in the workforce, but then certain circumstances happen that cause them to need to stay at home, whether your child is born with a disability that requires, you know, full-time care, or you live in a place or have a job where, you know, the salary doesn't cover the daycare costs and people have to make sacrifices for their families. And we need to support the people who have to make these sacrifices rather than diminishing them for being homemakers or diminishing them for choosing career over staying at home. Like it's too complicated for us to make rash decisions about who people are.
I just think we need to stop caring about other people's choices.
Absolutely.
I'm the kind of person who
yeah, let's hear this.
I don't know why I'm this way, but like I always wanted to have a career. I never like fully took like marriage and that sort of stuff off the table. But as I got older, obviously I've shaped myself in different ways, but I never desired to like not have a career. I was just like a person who always wanted that. But honestly, sometimes I kind of wish that I wasn't that way. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make a bitchin' ass home. I'm going to pop out some babies. I'm going to find this man's and I'm going to like make the bitchin' ass home you ever had. But that's not me. But that's fine. I feel it's just a matter of you do you live your life, whether you want to do this or do that. It doesn't matter. I just don't like when things like curriculums for people are being... I don't want to say manipulated.
They are. I mean, it is. It's not even manipulated because I think the people, they're being... Well, I guess it's like manipulation because you're being manipulated into thinking this is the only way. Yeah, it's the only way it can be. When it's things like this, right? When curriculums are being changed, when jobs are denied, when you're being told you're neurotic, if you...
Yeah, it's like you're neurotic. Like it's so intense.
It's a thing where it's obviously like a much bigger systemic change than just Margaret coming home and being like, I want to work now. Right. Like it's just a much bigger thing.
My beef is right there.
Totally.
It reminds me of like recently when we decided to edit our history books to not include certain events, like just pretending like they didn't happen.
Well, just remember again that this was just the 60s.
I know. I keep thinking about that. I was like, it's a long time ago. And you're like, it kind of isn't. And like, what do they always say? History repeats itself.
Yeah.
And it does, but in different, but kind of the same ways. I was really upset for Bitsy. And I remember reading it and kind of being like, I hope her story ends with, sorry. I was like,
her going to vet school is what I want her to do.
I want her to I want her to finish her education and then I want her to take over his practice. I'm like, destroy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate that. I'm on board for that.
Like a real partnership, right? Like if King is really the nice guy, then I would like to see him evolve a bit further, pick that bar up a little bit higher, and make this a veterinary clinic that's like husband and wife.
Yeah.
Not just like my wife at home and in the stables.
But given the time period we're in, I could also see a situation where King might not necessarily be anti the idea of sharing this with his wife, but people might not want her as their vet because she's a woman. So like the worry of how are you actually going to fund this when everyone's choosing him over her? So I could see that too. It's like a bigger systemic thing, right? Like people need to believe that women can be doctors.
And like what Charlotte was talking about in painting and artistry, that the men rise to the top, and even some of the best women painters, you know, they never got recognition because they were women.
And I mean, this stuff happens, like men, women piece aside, like this happens across race, like lots of things, right? Like my doctor is African-American. She made it very clear that she doesn't get a lot of white patients wanting her as their doctor. And she also has a lot of scenarios where she feels like people, even other African-American patients, she'll feel like they won't listen to her until she brings in her white male colleague. And then they listen to him. And she is a Harvard med school educated doctor. You know, she's brilliant. And she still feels like she has to work so much harder to prove herself or to have people believe the advice she's giving. You know, I think there's a piece where it's like, yes, a lot of her patients are people of color, but
shared culture, right? Like I want women doctors always.
But she didn't,
not the way, not the same, but you get what I mean.
But she talked about it as like, you know, because some people would say like, well, maybe I should not be her patient to free up more space for someone else who might want her as a doctor. But like the way she explained it to me wasn't necessarily that I was taking space away from someone who was a person of color, but more of like she didn't feel like white patients wanted her.
Oh shit. Like
she and I were just chatting about this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I mean I asked a lot of questions of like, what's it like right now when everyone feels like they can be a doctor through Google?
So true though.
And yeah, she was telling me that she had a patient
deeper than that.
Well, she was telling me she had a patient that responded to some advice. She literally said the words, well, based on my TikTok research.
Shut the fuck up.
And
respectfully, she said, whoever you are, stop it.
She said it's a joke now, like on the clinic floor, where they'll just like joke with each other about like based on their TikTok research.
Make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah, but no, I feel like it's the same in some ways where like people aren't trusting women to be good in any of these fields.
Yeah,
they're only good at homemaking. So why would he also want her in a business where she might not make any money?
We have a lot of systemic things we need to work on. But I'm curious to learn more about the doctor that Viv is working for. I feel like we're going to get a deeper understanding of like a woman like that in like a doctor field, career, and like what her experience is like in the 1960s. This book is crazy. Did you know it's a historical fiction? Like, guys, that means some shit right there. It's what that means. We're not just like playing in the fiction world here.
The last thing that kind of stuck out to me that I made a note of is when Bitsy was seeing her doctor for advice on getting pregnant. And her doctor said, quote, "You're young and strong and healthy. Mix up a pitcher of martinis, put some Nat King Cole on the stereo, and let nature take its course." And then he winked and patted her knee.
It's giving JD Vance.
Yes, I also thought that. But here's the thing, too, though. I was like, if my female doctor said that to me, I'd be like, girl, you know, it's just like a different vibe. But a male doctor telling you that and then touching your knee.
And she said it made her feel a little uncomfortable. But it's like, it wasn't just...
But it's such a, like, common thing. And there was another comment somewhere in the book of someone being like, oh, just be chill and, like, get him drunk, get yourself drunk and just, like, whatever.
She said, my friend Viv suggested Chianti and Sinatra. Yeah. She's got 6 kids with one on the way. I also had this written down. I thought it was funny, like, quote unquote medical advice, because I feel like if you're really going to the doctor for this, they would give you tangible things and tests and all that. And then sort of the end layer to kind of lighten it up would be like, maybe you just need to relax a little bit, like put on some good music, take a bath, and like when your husband gets home, like ravish him, But it's kind of like she goes there and it's like, all you need to do is relax and take a bath, put on Nat King Cole, and like get a martini and this ravish.
A pitcher of martinis.
I'm sorry, a pit. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And then like ravish your husband, you'll be fine. It's like that's the medical advice that these women are getting.
Think what also like stuck out to me about that is just the fact that here the advice is go get drunk and this will happen to you. But then women will get sexually assaulted or whatever. And the response is like, well, were you drinking?
Right.
And so it's like
the double edge.
Yes, right. Like you can do no right. It's just that to me stuck out.
You know what? I would love to I don't know if we can figure this shit out because we're busy women.
So important.
We're so, yeah. If we could get a panel of 1960s women, I'd love to just ask them questions.
They would be old right now.
But they're out there. Hey, if you're out there.
You're listening and you're in your 90s.
They're probably not, but email us at
My BF Book Club. Or you know what? Have your daughter or grandchild or grandson or son email us at mybfbookclub@gmail.com.
Or they can DM us on one of our socials.
Or write us a letter.
Well, I don't know where you would send it, but...
Definitely not to Seattle.
We're not giving you an address. So
if it's meant to be, you'll find us.
I know you all want to know where we live.
Yeah, it's in the jungles of Seattle.
No, I was struggling with some of these topics because I was like, I just don't know. I had this written down about how women feel from, I don't know if it's just women, maybe just married people hate their spouse from time to time. When they first start talking about the feminine mystique, Bitsy's like, oh my God, I want to talk about the book. I hate my husband. And everyone's like, what? And it was kind of funny when it happened. But at the same time, it just got me thinking about, is it normal to hate? I don't know.
I think so, actually.
Maybe hate is a strong word, but not the right word, but it's like you have a strong dislike for this person. Yeah. This is where I was struggling because I'm not married and I haven't been married, but I've heard a lot of stories from married people where they deeply dislike their spouse. And it sometimes is for an extended period of time to the point where you're kind of like, should they get divorced? But I don't fucking know because I've never been married and it's going on for so long. But then, they go to therapy or whatever. Something turns the relationship around. And then so it got me thinking is it just actually normal and part of marriage to sometimes quote unquote hate your spouse?
I too am not married. If you're out there.
Yana,
call me.
I have something to ask you right now.
Yes, a million times yes.
I don't ever ring.
I don't need one.
I'll get
I just need you. I don't need to do this podcast anymore. I have someone taking care of me.
Sugar mama.
Goodbye. No, I think it's normal.
Who needs a sugar daddy when you have a mama?
That's right. I think it's normal
People probably think we're super lesbians.
So I wish we were.
There's nothing wrong with it, but we wish so hard. Y'all don't even
You don't know.
You don't even know.
If you guys are out there thinking sexuality is a choice,
it's not.
Yeah, keep listening to us. We'll continue to prove it's not. Yeah, I love Claire, but I don't want to touch her.
Yeah, same.
Thanks.
Not like that.
Yeah, not like that. I'll give you a pat on the back.
Yeah.
But clothed. So yeah, I think love and hate are so closely related, right? I think lots of people, I don't know that they'd use hate as the word, but you can really love someone, but not like them right now.
Right. That's why I was saying, I feel like Bitsy's
hate's a strong
word was really strong, but I was like, maybe she does kind of hate him.
I think that honestly, what she hates is what he represents for her, right? She can't have anything she wants in her life because of him. She
kind of gave up, right? Yeah. And it wasn't him.
And not him. It's the society thing. Yeah.
She hit that roadblock. Nobody would write her that letter of recommendation. Her dad died at the same time. He'd proposed to her, didn't even really know her.
No.
And then she was just in the deepest of dumps. He came to the dad's funeral.
Yeah.
With the intention of maybe now she'll marry me. And she was like, you know what?
Some man's got to take care of her.
I'm out of options. All these paths I tried to push didn't work. So she did it. So at the end of the day, like, it was her choice, right or wrong.
She didn't really have another choice.
Maybe she doesn't hate him, but she hates what he represents for her. And that is her giving up and deciding to do this thing that she knew she really didn't want to do at the end of the day. It doesn't seem like I don't think she wants to have kids.
No, I don't think so either. I think she wants to because it's just what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I also think, remember, he only had her get tested, and we find out that she passes, whatever that means. I feel like maybe it's him, honestly. It doesn't matter if it's him or it's her, but, like, it's just like, hey, sir, like, maybe...
But he has a son, right? So that... Or, like, he has...
Yeah, but, like, shit changes.
No, absolutely. You know, like, but, like, back then, they might not think that way.
Right. Anyway, sorry, I got on that little tangent. I mean, but I was like, I think you can come to really dislike your spouse from time to time, and like that's normal.
I think same with like your kids. Like you can really love your kids, but you're like, I don't like you right now.
You know,
and we have that with our parents too. Where obviously, like we love
my dog sometimes.
Yeah, but like. I think that's very normal. I think what I keep thinking about with a lot of these is like the problems caused in these marriages are also just because these people have been forced to make choices that society has like forced upon them.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're making the choices, but it's like, how could you not when you're under such pressure?
And like, what else is she going to do if she's not able to get a job and she doesn't get married? Like, what does she do? So like, you're kind of forced into these choices. Because sure, in a perfect world, she'd be like, yeah, I'm just going to go like fucking do my own thing, be a vet or work in the vet, whatever. But she can't. So the next best thing is to agree to marry a guy who's nice to you.
I mean, he's a vet, you know?
And he's not mean to you. He doesn't beat you. So that's our bar.
You know how low the bar is. It makes me sad.
I feel like the bar is back to really low right now.
Like this part where Margaret's working so hard to get Walt back in good graces with her. She's like going out of her way to buy this book for him, to make his favorite cake, to make sure the daughter gives him the cake and cleans his plate. And then Bitsy, she's like, King's not so bad. He's not so bad. And when I hear the stories about these other husbands, you know, in the grand scheme, he's really not that bad. And then she wakes up that morning after their book club. Also, I love that they were all a little hungover. I was like, good job, girls. That must have been so intense for the 1960s. And you're reading it and he's cooking for her and she didn't want to come downstairs and he helped out with they had so many cats.
So many, but they are like a vet focused. Yeah.
And then as she's sitting down to eat the eggs that he made her, she's like, hey, what did you use to cook these eggs? And he says, I got a quote, I swear I can't win for losing around here, which also I want to start saying. I just wanted to do something nice for my wife, but you act like I'm trying to poison you or compromise your morals. And he totally turned that around on her because he's like, praise me, I made you breakfast. Meanwhile, he cooked her eggs and bacon fat when he knows that she's becoming a vegetarian very seriously. And she's like, I'm not trying to be like a dick about it, but like, you're my husband and you should care about these things. But then he gaslights her.
Yeah, he does.
And then she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she goes up to him and like puts her hand on his chest and starts to like play into arousal. She was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. And I was just like, you know, why can't women just be mad? Why can't she just be mad that he gaslights her in this moment? And she should be like, you know what, bitch, don't gaslight me. You should care about the fact that I want to be a vegetarian and it's super awesome that you made these eggs for me. But like, if you're really being considerate of me and like what I'm trying to do in my life, you would know that's something, right? Like,
but again, it's the times, right?
I'm allergic to seafood, right? It's like you being like, hey, Clara, I made you a seafood casserole.
I would do that every day.
And I'm like,
die.
Thank you so much. I can't eat that. Like, you know, like
no, totally. But again,
Margaret with her husband, she's like just doting upon him, trying to get him to.
And like, he's not trying anything to get back in her good graces.
That's exactly what I'm saying about both of these guys. It's like they're making these women feel bad when they're playing a heavy hand.
But the women are the only ones that have something to lose.
Like divorce?
Entire financial support.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that
Yeah.
because I'm a 20th century
Right.
bitch.
So thinking back to that time, if they're on
Right,
their
like,
husband's bad side,
oh, and what
their
a
husbands still have
scandal to get
jobs. Yeah,
divorced.
but they still have jobs. They still have everything. These women are left with nothing. And society sides with the men.
I can't believe that my brain is like
I mean,
blown right now.
that's part of the
It
whole
shouldn't
thing of
be.
like the feminism, right? It's like our ability to have choices in that too.
I didn't even think about money. Like, that's
Yeah.
so crazy. That's such a bitch ass thing to do,
I mean,
honestly.
there's still, even now, there's still a lot of women who are stuck in marriages they don't want to be in because
The
of money.
finances.
But in this circumstance, they have no employment history. They have nothing.
Some of them didn't even finish college.
Right. And society might also consider them, used.
I don't
Right?
like that at all. It also caught my attention that Bitsy was feeling like by opening up to these women, she felt like she was betraying her husband. I have a quote. Bitsy was still sorting through all the things she shared with the Bettys. Her feelings and their reactions. She still felt a little funny about it. Wondered if she'd been wrong, even disloyal, to speak so openly about their marriage. The tightness she'd been carrying in her chest for weeks seemed to lessen as she relayed the story. I think this kind of goes back to our previous conversation where I was like feeling sad that the women couldn't be open with each other. And then to like deepen that, it was like, I feel sad that she feels weird or bad or disloyal about that. But then it got me thinking about, I'm gonna maybe be a little contentious, where you know how we've like not told each other stuff when something bad is
I've
happening.
told you everything.
But like when we've been in bad relationships and like
of course.
bad things are happening and we don't tell each other, it's like, what do? You either tell people or you don't. And then it's like, what does that say about you and your relationship with this person? I don't know. I feel bad that she felt bad, but at the same time, I understood because it fucking sucks to have to say those things to your besties.
I know when I've had moments like that, a lot of it is just me where I know what you're going to say.
Right. And you don't want to hear it?
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I know that what you're saying makes sense and I'm just not ready for that yet. I know what I have to do or like what has to be done or what has to be said, but I don't want to yet.
Or you like hope something will change, but like
things never does. You can't fix people.
I mean, you can't change people.
Sorry. Men need to be fixed, not changed.
The last thing I had was this idea of like relationships souring. There's this moment in the book where she kind of, and I was thinking about this when I was reading the book. I have a quote. Bitsy was starting to wonder if King might be cruel. Charlotte had not one good word to say about Howard. That's her husband. Viv was keeping secrets from Tony, and Margaret and Walt didn't talk anymore. Just exchange information about kids, chores, budgets, schedules. How could things have gone so wrong for all of them? It's just that idea of like, all these people like ended up together somehow. Yeah. And then what happens where things sour? And of course, it's different from relationship to relationship. It seems like Bitsy and King were never, it was almost kind of like an arranged marriage where she learned to love him in a sense, but it's still not like the ideal situation for either of them. But if you look at somebody like Viv and Tony, who seem to really love each other, why is she keeping secrets from him? Yeah. Charlotte really doesn't like her husband at all. And then Margaret and Walt, I'm curious to learn more about them, but they seemed like they had a really romantic relationship at the start, and then as they both fell into their roles, it's like the love faded. It's like, does love sour or what happens? Like, what the fuck happens? What happens, Yana? Where does the love go?
That was the love leaving.
That's what I was trying to portray.
I don't know. As someone who feels no love in her art. Did you know that The Feminine Mystique's a real book?
Yeah.
Should we read it?
So is the other one. When we say this is a historical fiction, it really is a historical fiction. I almost wonder if these characters that the author has are
based on...
are they based on real people that she or someone in her life knows knew? They might be dead. Yes. I don't know. Sorry. Has to be bleak, but like it's the 1960s.
The 1960s early 1970s was just like there was so much happening for women's rights.
Right.
Right.
I think that's where we're
it
going.
went from so slow to like really, really fast, a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
We went, here's birth control. Now you
voting rights,
closer to equal pay, voting rights, no fault divorce, abortion.
Yeah. A lot happened for women in this time frame.
Yeah, and then we took it all away.
I mean,
a lot.
We didn't take it all away, but we're just having considerations.
But, Roe v. Wade was 1973, taken away in 2022.
I didn't realize that was 1973. That's super depressing that was overturned.
But think of how fast that was from where these women are in early 1960s. To 73, you go from you can't even get birth control without your husband's consent to now you can have an abortion. And now here we are, 2022,
abortion
and they're like all gone
from some states. I kind of feel like maybe this is where this book is going because it was such a time for change for women. I feel like as we get towards the end of the book, we might talk about these things. Yeah. Like we might talk about voting and birth control and divorcing. Like I think I don't know. I feel like that's maybe why she picked that time frame.
Employment discrimination against pregnant women stopped in 1978.
And that's what Viv is going through right now.
Yep.
Only because she is a woman.
1974 was when it made it illegal to deny credit cards or loans based on gender or marital status.
It's fucking crazy. I'm so grateful that I wasn't having to deal with that, but I feel so deeply. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Is that inappropriate? I feel so deeply. Can you imagine someone telling you right now, Yana, you can't take out a new credit card.
Right. I'm not going to be able to buy stuff. How do I buy stuff?
Or like, let's say you had gotten married in your early 20s and you wanted to get a divorce now. And maybe you're like,
I have to prove he beats me drunk.
Exactly. Like, but you don't have the ability to do that. Like,
I also don't have a credit card to buy a camera or anything.
Like, you don't have the ability to do that. I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around, like, putting myself in that situation. Obviously, I know that it happened and I don't doubt anyone's experience. I'm just like, it's, like, so out of this world in my brain. But it's not when you think about the fact that it was, like, the 1970s. Right.
And I think that's what, like, messes with my head a bunch right now is reading it right now, being kind of where I am in life right now, and just I'm recognizing the years now as closer than they maybe seemed before. This really wasn't that long ago. And the recognition that people who went through this are still alive today and are now watching people try and take away, thinking that we've idealized this like trad wife type life through social media and milk your cows, make your sourdough. I don't fucking care. Take care of your kids, whatever the fuck it is. That's your choice through feminism. We don't need to fucking take rights away from people who don't want to do that.
Yeah, I feel like we should just always be giving rights. We shouldn't be taking them away. Unless it's like the right to murder. Obviously,
I'd love that.
Can't do things like that. But like, I think where it's just about making choices for you in your life that has literally no impact on fucking anyone. Yeah. Why do you care?
No, you don't want an abortion, don't get one. You don't want to have a gay marriage, don't marry someone of the same sex. It's not hard.
Yeah, I feel like I said, it's not like murder.
Which I still support.
But like, I don't understand the desire to control other people's lives and choices.
And let's not base this off religion, you guys. Same thing. You can be whatever religion you want to be. That doesn't mean someone else has to be. Just like, I can't imagine living through something like this where you're, fighting for rights and you know what it's like to actually not have these rights. And then you see people idealizing that life that you fought to not have. I mean, you idealize it, fine, do it.
Yeah.
But to make it a whole political thing where you're putting other women back into this place who don't want this. And there are men, too, who also don't want women to be back here. Again, God, I hate how much this book makes me advocate for men,
you're doing
too.
Such a good job. I hope all the men are proud of you, all of our male listeners.
I don't mean to.
And just to be clear, male listeners,
don't actually hate you.
Of course not. We're upset with the men in these books and some of the experiences that we've had. We know that not every man is bad or all those things. It's just, collective experiences, they're hard to, it's just hard, okay? We love you. We hope you're well. This book is bringing up a lot of feelings inside of me.
I agree. I want to read the feminine mystique.
I feel really triggered by a lot of things. I'm like, Claire, calm down. But anyway, Yana, what's your food rating for these set of pages? I don't know why this book makes me think about my grandma so much.
Well,
probably because she was a woman in the 1960s. It actually explains a lot about the way that she was and how she thought I was inappropriate sometimes.
I mean, you are inappropriate.
I am. My apology. Yeah, I'm not sorry.
I do apologize on her behalf, though. Let's see. I think the first thing that comes to mind is a shot of espresso. It's the act of learning how to make the shot. And the learning curve that has come with an espresso machine is one that I just didn't anticipate.
Yeah, you gotta smash those beans.
I don't smash the beans, but I do grind them.
And then you smash them.
I do tamp them.
Tamp them.
Yeah.
Smash them beans.
But I think that I wasn't expecting to learn as much as I am from this book and have as many feelings as I've been having. And I think when I first got my espresso machine, I didn't know what I got myself into. I was like, surely an espresso machine is just going to be life-changingly positive because now I don't have to pay $9 a cup for coffee. And I thought the most expensive part was going to be the machine, but it has been the learning curve of the machine.
And the beans are really cool.
I mean, the beans, good quality beans, and
we have the machine if you don't have
and
the
just
beans.
but also the good accessories. The price of these matters in some ways. The good stuff does make a difference. But as I learn, I improve. And the machine went from being exciting to being the biggest pain up my asshole to now being an occasional discomfort in my asshole, but a more pleasant discomfort in my asshole
in this episode.
And I think it's really teaching me that what you put into something is what you get out.
Oh, God.
And the quality of beans really does improve not just the taste, but the entire process. And the cleanup and everything is improved just by the quality of the beans. So I think we could all be beans for each other.
I hope everyone hates you as much as I hate you right now.
See, it's normal to hate the people you love.
That's right. It's like when she said nay when we were talking about the horses at one time. You probably forgot.
No, I remember nay.
I was like, God, I hate you, but I love you.
See, it's totally normal. Claire, what's your food rating?
This is like Thanksgiving dinner, but leftovers, where you make the sandwich. So you get the little buns and you do your layer of turkey, casserole, potato, fucking cranberry sauce, a little bit of gravy. Got to get some of that. It's a little not as good as it was the first day. And you're also kind of what the fuck is the cranberry doing in here? I know not everybody agrees with that, but that's how my tongue feels.
Oh.
And it just has so much complexity to it, a lot of afterthoughts, get it, leftovers, but it's still fucking delicious. And you go eat that little sandwich that you made for yourself. And you might deconstruct some parts and remove some things so it works for you. But it's still good and it still works. And that's what this book is so far for me.
Beautiful.
That was good.
Not quite as beautiful as what I did, but
yours was very in depth with machines and cleaning.
But
and
also more importantly, what you put in is what you get out.
Okay,
which I think is just something we should think about in all aspects of life.
Just like your fucking plans at the HOA thing at the beginning. You're so thoughtful.
I'm incredibly smart.
You're so smart.
So, what are you reading?
I finished Game On.
Okay. What about the fantasy book?
I liked it a little less than I wanted to, but I still really liked it. There were some really intense sexual scenes where I was like, I'm feeling worried about this woman, but she seems to be okay. If she's okay, I'm okay.
More worried than the one who rode a knife?
Yes.
Oh my.
She
ride a saw?
She took it in both holes at the same time. I know, and they were talking about, I was like, I don't know if I need this in my
I'm going to be reading that tonight.
Honestly, though, it was one of my favorite enemies to lovers story when it first started. I was like, I don't know how these bitches are ever gonna love each other because this shit is so fucking intense. I liked it. It was my favorite of the Navessa Allen books so far. I still really like Lights Out just because it's like Twilight. You just gotta have to like it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it caught up. And then I'm still reading Brimstone. Sorry. It's so long. I put it down because I had to focus on this book and Game On. What about you?
Still reading Heart the Lover, though I got about a quarter into it, and then I feel like I read this and some other things, and now I've kind of forgotten where I ended with Heart the Lover, so I have to like rewind a little bit before I can keep going, but that is my book for this weekend. I'm going to do a little beach reading.
We've got a lot going on, guys. Yana's going to head out on
just a vacay with friends.
My sister's coming into town. Fucking dick. And then I'm headed out to an international trip. But don't worry. We're going to do some recording.
Where are you going, governor? Top of the morning to ya.
So we don't miss any episodes for you guys because I know you care so much.
Yes, very proper.
And on
that's Indian.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going. No. You're like me right now.
I know. Magnet. A spot of tea. Your Highness.
So on that note of you can't wait for Thursday to come because that's when you get new episodes. Mm-hmm. So guys, follow us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And the best, we need you to do this, okay? So you don't hear birds chirping. Tap that 5-star like.
Mix up a pitcher of martinis, put some Nat King Cole on the stereo, and let nature take its course.
Or Sinatra. And if nothing else, dear friends, remember...
keep on reading.
We are.
We are.
We are, we are, we are.
We are, we are, we are. Feminine Misty.